I started getting paperwork sent to me and things like that, and I started posting on him. He's commented on my Instagram, you know, starting, and I'm going back and forth with him. But I know for a fact he's not what he says he is. The guy Pistol Pete around him is the one that he off, and you know that's why he thinks he's tough. And Jadakiss, you know, another one, never cracked an egg.
Joe cracked the dawn, has never been a rat in his life, has never told on a person in his life. I kill myself before I tell on somebody.
I gotta keep it real. I gotta keep it 10,000. What do you do? What do you do when you got an ex-mob enforcer? Yeah, when you got an ex-mob enforcer for the Bonanno crime family, Gene Borrello, out here getting at you. Because now he's taking his talents over to Vlad TV. Yeah, so we gotta throw in there, y'all. He's actually a rat. Yeah, he snitched on the mob. He snitched on all the work he was putting in out there in them streets. This man actually told. What does Fat Joe do at this point? Does he not answer him? Does he not go back and forth with him? What do you do when somebody's out here allegedly slandering your name, calling you all kind of rats, calling you out? He's even going as far as even saying Jadakiss never did nothing, which we already know. Jadakiss ain't never been in the mix like that when it comes to going to prison and doing violent crime. That's not him. Is there an influx of rappers that actually rap about what they're not doing? Or should we even be paying attention to this Gene Borrello guy? Is he the real deal? Let's talk about it.
This is Harlem legend, no cap, no trap, no trap. Oh, this is Harlem legend, no cap, no trap, no trap. Hey, this is Harlem legend, no cap. Harlem Legend TV, we the realest on the screen. Breaking down the culture, keeping everything clean. Hip-hop stories raw, nothing in between. From the block to the world, we chasing a dream. I see the world through a lens so wide. Every hood story, every truth they hide. I'm the pulse of the block where the truth resides. Harlem Legend TV, where the realness abides. Harlem Legend TV, where the realness abides. Harlem Legend TV, where the realness abides.
Yo, 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 yo. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy E or you, aka the Harlem Legend, man. If you're new to the channel, if you're old to the channel, welcome to Harlem Legend TV. Please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you set your bell notification so you know when I'm dropping a video or going live. Also, make sure y'all follow the Spotify. The link will be in the description box, and the link will be pinned in the comment section at the top. And with that being said, man, we got to get right into this one because, hey, look, ex-mob enforcer, right? He snitched. He's not even an ex. He snitched, y'all. He told on the mob. Do we still believe guys like this, or are they still as gangster as they once was? I'm just saying, hey, look, that doesn't take the killer out of him. I'm just saying, y'all, but do we take what he's saying about Fat Joe, you heard, as truth? Because we've seen paperwork come out on Fat Joe and it went nowhere. It was fake, okay? A lot of the paperwork, a lot of people out here talking on Fat Joe has not produced anything solid. I gotta be real, y'all. When it comes to Fat Joe, yeah, he fabricates a lot of stories. He might put a little sauce on it. But at the end of the day, being a rat, I have not heard that. I've heard it, but we have not seen anything that's concrete. And when it comes to Jadakiss, we know Jada ain't never been in the field like that to even go into prisons and stuff. Jadakiss is not into that. He came from a wonderful home, a Catholic school kid. Hey, look, we know what it is. But Gene Borrello takes his talents over to Vlad TV. And when I say, man, he's doing a lot of alleged slandering, as you would call it. He's standing on the paperwork. He's standing on Fat Joe being a snitch. Pay attention, y'all.
And paperwork sent to me and things like that, and I started posting on him. He's commented on my Instagram, you know, starting, and I'm going back and forth with him. And then I did something on YouTube on him, on my thing I was just, you know, playing around on. and he reported me and got me taken down. So he couldn't handle it, the stuff that I was putting out about him. They said that he cooperated in 1991 on a case, and there's always been bad word on him, from what I was being told by a lot of guys from his area that were reaching out to me. You know what I mean? And they said how he left Big Pun's son, how he left the family in a shelter, took all their money, just a bad person. And, he claims to be this great guy. And
I mean, over the years, okay, when it comes to Fat Joe, yes, we've heard a lot of these things, but nothing has come to fruition, period, when it comes to, I gotta be honest. Nothing is never, but when we're talking about Gene Borrello, okay, ex-Bonanno crime family figure, an enforcer, a dude that was smashing people, putting in work for the mob, he actually does have paperwork and did snitch. I gotta ask y'all, are y'all taking his word over the rapper's word at this point? I don't know. He didn't stop there, y'all, because he continues his barrage with a lot of disrespect. Pay attention.
You know what I mean? He's a total fraud. He never cracked the egg in his life. This guy, sings about gangsters, raps about things that we all have done in our lives. Him and Jadakiss never did any of that stuff. They're just rappers. You know what I mean? So that's my whole thing. Like, you're rapping about what other people did around you, maybe, not what you did. You didn't rob a whole gym. You didn't these fake stories you tell. Everyone laughs at you. Literally laughs at him. He said he robbed the whole gym. Everyone helped him carry the stuff back. Like, come on, Vlad. Bro, like, come on. It's absurd, the things that are coming out of his mouth. These stories, beat up the karate. He's just ridiculous, bro. He's just trying to be down so hard. It just looks sad almost, It does.
Do y'all believe that? Because a lot of these rappers do mimic. Okay, they do mimic what they've seen, who's around them, what they've heard, and that's how they actually make this music. But, I've known Fat Joe to be in the streets back in the days. You heard, probably in the last 20 years, he ain't been in the streets. I'm just saying. But is Gene Borrello making a good point of trying to discredit him?
Well, me and Fat Joe, we go back to the mixtape days. I know there's always been rumors and so forth. I remember Cuban Link had this whole paperwork thing that he released on Fat Joe, and Fat Joe actually addressed it and said, yeah, I know some of these people that are mentioned, but this paperwork is fake. And then Cuban Link came back and said, yeah, I don't know if it's real or not. It might be fake. So right. I don't know if it's the same paperwork or not, but I've never known Fat Joe to cooperate. Listen, he's been on my show a few times. These days, he doesn't do my show anymore. I don't think we're on the best of terms based on some of the things he said, but that doesn't take away that I've never heard of him cooperating.
Well, look, I'll be honest with you. And there's real ones and there's fake ones, and I always keep it real. He's a total fraud.
Hey, look, it's probably the same paperwork that was floating around that we all seen. And nothing's come out of that paperwork. They saying it's all fake. I don't understand why would dudes even push this type of narrative if you don't have the proper paperwork. It's disgusting. I gotta be real. And Fat Joe needs to stop even interacting with this dude. Why would you interact with somebody that's putting out fake work on you, basically? This guy, Gene Borrello, tries to get a little credibility because he's mentioning dudes like Chink's Drugs. He's mentioning dudes like Casanova. That may give him a little validity when you actually listening to him. You're like, oh, he been in the pen with these guys. Unless you taking the rat to the heart. Pay attention.
I'll be honest with you. Look, you have a lot of rappers that, like Casanova. I was at MDC Brooklyn when he was in the building. He was shaking the building. He was cutting people and shit. He's crazy. He's a real gangbanger. He raps about stuff he was really doing. You know what I mean? These guys, a lot of them are not what they say they are. They're just rapping to sell records. And that's not my genre, but don't get me wrong. Like, I know a lot of them. I was friendly with Chink's Drugs. I used to go out with him. I had beef with Charlie Rock, the original one, Want to Be a Baller, Shot Caller. I had my fair share run-ins with rappers and things, but I know for a fact he's not what he says he is. The guy Pistol Pete around him is the one that he, sucks off, and, that's why he thinks he's tough. And that's pretty much how I feel about him. He's making songs about rat and mafia stuff. He has nothing to do with organized crime. If he was a crack dealer, big deal, everyone sold drugs in the hood. Like, it's nothing impressive. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not impressed. You know what I mean? You're talking about guys that, sat on humans, hunted them, killed them, did a lot of different things than what he's rapping about or, bragging about in his rap songs. And Jadakiss, another one, never cracked an egg.
I gotta keep it real. When you listen to this guy and he says he's hunt people, okay, he's done things to people that these rappers will never do. I'm just saying, does he have a point there, and does he still have that in him? Because the way he's shooting at Fat Joe, it's seeming like he wants war. I'm just being real. It's seeming like Gene Borrello wants war with Fat Joe, and he's not going to let up. Fat Joe actually confronted these allegations back in the days, and I got to play it for y'all so y'all can get a better understanding of the same paperwork Gene Borrello's speaking of. Pay attention to what Fat Joe did to kill the narrative. It's nasty.
Okay. Joe Crack the Dawn has never been a rat in his life, has never told on a person in his life. I kill myself before I tell on somebody. Let's be clear about that, right? Now, with that being said, you have to realize, whether you know it or not, I'm at another level in my life. I worked very, very hard to get to where I'm at. So I have friends, the biggest in the world, the biggest in the game, hitting me up. Yo, Joe, don't respond to these people. You bigger than that. Yo, Joe, don't this and this and that. They're trying to bring you down. This is the most fabricated, false paperwork I've ever seen in the history of mankind. This is like disgusting. Now, those names you see on there are actual people. Those people really went to jail for 20 years. You guys and your friends was locked up with them. You never heard Fat Joe ever talk. They don't even know me. Those guys on that paper, I never met them. They don't know me. So you put a little whiteout on a piece of paper and you write Joseph Carter Jr.'s name. And you guys break my heart if you fall for that. You guys are disgusting. Because I am the one guy who's successful and still walk these streets to show you that there's no difference.
I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah, because we gotta break this down, man. Fat Joe is letting it be known. That's not my name on that paperwork. They put it there. This is bad all the way around the board. And does Gene Borrello even have a motive? Like, what is he doing? Is he chasing clout on Fat Joe's name because Fat Joe's out here shaking up the YouTube streets? I gotta be real, because he went to Vlad with this. Okay, and now 6 million people are looking at him, say that Fat Joe is a rat, is a fraud. See, we already know Jadakiss never really went and got active like that. It never been in prison. So it's not a reward, first of all, to go to prison, okay? But we know for a fact, Gene Borrello, ex-mob enforcer, man, he's a snitch. You heard? But do we discredit these guys once they snitch? Or does he still have it in him to be a killer? I'm just saying, y'all, I don't think this is a good thing for Fat Joe overall, because this guy is a known killer, a known enforcer, a known dude that was putting in work in the streets, that was putting hands on people. Should Fat Joe even be responding to this guy or getting in this guy's inbox or comment section? I think he should just ignore this guy all the way around the board. I don't think this guy should even be in hip-hop business at this point. But hey, who am I? Look, I don't make the news. I just break the news down and bring it to y'all. Yo, it's your boy E Oil, a.k.a. the Harlem Legend, man. Do you believe Fat Joe still ratted? I don't. I'm going to just put that right out there right now. I looked over the page. It's years ago this came out. It's fake. Okay? Somebody put Fat Joe's name in it. Okay? And for this guy, Gene Borrello, to get out here and be doing all this, did Fat Joe do the right thing by taking his page away, taking his voice away? Because there gets to a point where it's called slander. You heard? And you start like overdoing it just to get on, right? And you would think this guy would already be on. He's an ex-mob enforcer. He was putting in work in the streets. Should Fat Joe be cautious of how he speaks about this dude? Because he really has nothing to live for. He snitched already. Everybody know that he's basically a cop. Make sure y'all get down in the comment section, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you set your bell notifications so you know when I'm dropping a video or going live. It's only going to get worse from here if Fat Joe actually responds. It's going to get nasty. Salute.
I started getting paperwork sent to me and things like that, and I started posting on him. He's commented on my Instagram, you know, starting, and I'm going back and forth with him. But I know for a fact he's not what he says he is. The guy Pistol Pete around him is the one that he off, and, you know, that's why he thinks he's tough. And Jadakiss, you know, another one, never cracked an egg.
Joe cracked the dawn, has never been a rat in his life, has never told on a person in his life. I kill myself